Multiple sclerosis is an inflammatory condition of the brain and the spinal cord, which commonly affects young adults.
I was diagnosed at 27.
I was diagnosed with MS in 2005.
Living with MS has been obviously a life-changing experience. I was diagnosed at the height of kind of a career move.
Sometimes the typical physical activities that I was used to being able to accomplish are much more difficult for me now. I have problems walking long distances.
A lot of responsibility, and we were just looking to buy a house. I had just gotten married. We were looking to start a family.
Numbness in my hands, and the biggest one is the MS fatigue that makes, getting through a typical day pretty exhausting.
Many people without the disease don't understand the symptoms of the disease. They state, "But you look so good," and they don't understand what the patient is actually going through.
We have close to 14,000 people living with multiple sclerosis in New Jersey and close to 19,000 people living with MS in the state of Pennsylvania.
Currently, the number is 400,000 people are affected with MS in the United States today.
I serve on the board of the MS Society, the National Capital Chapter in Washington, D.C., and through that chapter I'm able to help with advocacy activities and also just kind of advocate for more research in MS and other neurological diseases.
I became involved with the National MS Society because I really wanted to know what MS was all about. I didn't know much about it when I got diagnosed, and I was really eager for information, but I was also really eager to get involved and find out what I could do to help the cause.
The Congressional Multiple Sclerosis Caucus is a caucus, like many others, that is designed for members of both parties to really sit down and discuss what awareness, how we're going to be able to move forward in research, and have an informal discussion so we can try to help formulate policy potentially that will help us come to hopefully a cure.
People can get involved in advocacy in any number of ways, and we really work with people to find the best way to get involved that suits them. That can range from sharing their story with a legislator, doing legislative visits, or writing or contacting their legislators about important information. People often think that they have to have inside knowledge of how bills become laws or how the legislative process works in order to have impact. And what I find is the most powerful way is to bring constituents into legislators and have them share their individual stories of how this disease has affected them and their family, and that's where really the most impact has happened.
I'm involved with the National MS Society here at the Delaware chapter with the Government Relations Committee. I went to the Public Policy Conference last year and learned a lot about the different issues, went and talked to elected officials, and now I sit on that committee and keep abreast of what's going on and get involved accordingly.
Certainly, there are many ways to get involved with the fight against MS. Some of it is advocacy, approaching local, regional, and national layers of government, trying to improve support for services and support for research in multiple sclerosis. Certainly supporting the National MS Society, whether it be volunteering, serving on a committee, or donating money to support the cause can be very helpful for folks with MS.
One thing that's really important for me as far as getting involved is I am able to work. I'm a mother. I'm able to do everything that I would have been able to do without the diagnosis of MS. And I credit that to all of the research that has been done based on advocacy before I was diagnosed.
Advocacy means something different to each person, but basically advocacy is making change happen for the good.
I think there's many ways to get involved with the fight against MS. Certainly advocacy at a local, a regional, or a national level to raise awareness of this disease, to help support research in providing services for patients with MS. Certainly a relationship with the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, volunteering or contributing money certainly can be a thing that is very helpful. and really spreading the word that this is a life-altering disease for a lot of patients, and this is something that I hope in our lifetime we can see an end to.
If your voice isn't heard, then things don't get done.
Getting involved, I'd say, and I've been involved in many other issues throughout my career, but when the people's voices are heard, and that is what being a representative is. The more people that are out there and in front of it, promoting it, making you aware of the pitfalls and what needs to be done, that's how things get done. So advocacy is a huge part of moving any issue forward, and I'm honored to be a part of this one.